Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us here for the news on WTOC Plus. I'm digital anchor Jude Binkley, joined with meteorologist Andrew Gordon. Andrew, the last 2 days before heading out to work, I've had to break out the ice scraper.
Yep.
Pretty frigid temperatures in the morning, but it sounds like we're due for a bit of a warm-up this afternoon.
Yeah, and it's going to be really nice compared to how it has been. Let's take a look at those forecast temperatures for you. First of all, everybody wants to talk about the weekend, so this is where we're at with it. 40s in the morning. Looks like we're above freezing Saturday. Definitely a lot of question marks as we get into Sunday. Northern areas to the north of I-16, we're talking about Sylvania, places like that might still have that freezing rain chance based on today's data. So, of course, Sunday, Monday, we're going to be talking about going forward. As of right now, we're warming up nicely. We're seeing those upper 40s all the way up into the Savannah area, Beaufort, Hinesville at 46. We're warming up here today. Normal low 40, we're going to be above that the next few mornings. So that's a nice change of pace. Temperatures starting to get warmer than where they were yesterday. That's your trend. That's your foreshadowing for this afternoon. Big picture wise, we're seeing some of that cloud cover overhead. With that, we're not going to see any rain, so you could just kind of enjoy that filtered sunshine for today. Over the next few hours, we get up into the 60s by 1, 2 o'clock. A little bit of a breeze today, nothing too crazy, but we will be warming up here progressively the next few days, starting this afternoon. Low to mid 60s across the interior portion of the coastal empire and low country, near 60 right along the immediate coast as well. Afternoon drive looking good for those going home from work, from school. Temperature 60s, falling back into the 50s there after sunset by about 6 o'clock. Now tomorrow, talking about those temperatures above freezing, no need for the ice scraper tomorrow. I had to use it as well. Thursday, Friday look much better for the commute, so we can all be happy about that. Of course, we just looked at a preview of that weekend forecast. Definitely questions remaining there. What we know for Sunday, Monday, we've got that colder air, some moisture coming in. We're going to get rain, likely favoring the not frozen kind for now, but we hope. Models definitely are trending warmer. That's for today. We all know how things can go. It could go back the other direction, but I would rather sit here and tell you it's trending better, warmer, further north than say, yeah, it looks like it's getting colder. That's not the case as of right now. Of course, still, it's what, Wednesday? We're talking about Sunday and Monday. Some time to go. So let's take a look at the worst case scenario. The GFS pulling in some cooler temperatures. I think this is way too cold. Looks more like rain. Sunday's going to be above freezing during the day. So it's just that brief window in the morning and then the brief window again Monday during that commute. Looks a little bit damp. Notice the pink top of your screen. Not in our area. So areas to our north could have more of a threat for that freezing rain. For us, improving conditions for Monday. Does it stay that way? Let's hope so. We got to wait and see. So in your 7-day forecast, we're just going to keep the first alerts there. We at least have the moisture around, but you can see that the forecast temperatures are above freezing for Savannah. 37 Sunday, 34 Monday. Trending warmer, I would say, for Sunday as well, but we're going to wait for that data to come in. Within the next 1 to 2 hours, we'll have the next European model. What I can also tell you is that it gets very cold next week. Tuesday, 20s, very chilly, wind chill feeling like the teens for inland areas, about 24 Savannah Tuesday morning. So your high temperatures next week below your average in the lower 60s. So today, tomorrow, Friday, that's great. Enjoy it. Soak it up. Because next week we are reminded that it is still January going into, at this point, about to be going into February.
Yeah, and one thing we should also note, rain, not the frozen kind, but rain falling, temperatures dropping, especially overnight, potential for ice on the roads, potentially.
There's a small window for that on Monday.
Okay.
But if temperatures are trending warmer, we might be able to kind of relax the verbiage on that a little bit.
Sweet.
So right now, we're not calling there for major travel concerns based on today, your Wednesday forecast at, what is it, 10:06?
10:06.
So we'll see. These models change. Kind of peeling back the curtain a little bit. There's a low forming that's going to bring widespread freezing rain, ice, all the way Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. It's going to be coming our way. So the good news as we get closer to this system, once that low forms, we can see where it's at and then tell you within greater confidence what we then can expect. Without it having formed yet, we're kind of saying, this is where we think it's going to form. Here's what we think happens beyond that. Just like with tropical systems, until you have that center of circulation that your forecast is kind of wrapped around, you're doing your best guess, right? Yeah. So models are going to flip-flop probably until that forms. As we get more so, I'd say Friday. I know that not you want to hear, but once we get into Friday, much better idea.
Gotcha. Even like the you mentioned Texas and kind of some places out west. I've heard even regionally, like my parents live in Charlotte. I've heard
Yeah.
upstate South Carolina, North Carolina might get it pretty rough this weekend as
I
well.
would say so. Greenville, South Carolina, those areas, Atlanta, northeast, kind of going up through that portion of the Carolinas. Today wouldn't be the good day to look at the forecast for them. So, what's good for one person, it usually means it's not as good for another.
All right. Well, something we'll continue to monitor. Andrew, thanks for joining us this morning.